what are your students most commonly saying to you about how to resolve our fiscal imbalance? Are there particular, do they move to the revenues more often? Do they move to the spending side? On the spending side, do they give you any kind of feedback on how they think about changes to our entitlement programs? What's sort of the common theme that comes from your students as they look for ways to reduce future deficits?
Yeah, no, it's a great question, Tori. And hopefully you're going to join us at one of these exercises. I have to tell you that it is a highlight of the semester for these kids. They absolutely love it. They find it's the thing that really sticks with them the longest, because they appreciate how hard it is to cut the deficit. The thing that surprises me is their willingness to make some really significant spending cuts in some very popular programs, entitlement programs, and their willingness to increase fees on things like, for example, Medicare beneficiaries, cut veterans, cut agriculture. They make some tough choices and also raise taxes, and really kind of the sort of the defining moment in the entire process at the end, after they have balanced the budget, is Phil Smith, who does a phenomenal job running the program, asks them, do you think you'll get reelected having voted for this budget? And almost universally they say no. So having made these tough choices, they now acknowledge the voters would probably reject them. So that's unfortunate.
That shows they're getting both a political science education as well as budget education.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, the challenge is for every politician is there are really only two and a half ways to reduce the deficit. The first, of course, is to cut spending. The second is to raise taxes. The third is to grow the economy, which politicians like to talk about, but that's an easy way out. But very few, it's politicians never like to go back to their constituents, their voters, and say, I've raised your taxes and I've cut your benefits, so please reelect me. It's sadly, and that's why we need to convince voters that this is in their best interest. And it's not just in their best interest, but it's in the best interest of their children. And if we can make this a story about their children, then people are willing to do the right thing, I think.